So the two equations that give you the linear equation that make the straight lines, these are the two that you're going to see a lot of. Let me explain that the x and the y's in these you get from the ordered pair. The a and b in the first one, the a, b, and c, are actual numbers that would come before the x and y values. So for example, you might have 2x plus 4y is equal to 7. The 2 would be your a, the coefficient of the y would be your b, and this constant would be a c. That's where you would get your values, because you may have some number before these x and y terms. The x in this case would be 2. So in this case we would say 2 times 2 plus 4, the coefficient, times 3. That's where you get your values for the x, ax plus by equals Now, c. If your formula is given to you in this way, y equals mx plus b, your x and your y term, again, are you get those values from your ordered pair. Now I'm going to just take the last formula, this one, and explain that one a little bit better to you. So back to your notes. In this case, we already know that your x and y come from an ordered pair. Your m stands for slope. That would be the slant of the line. So if your graph looked like this, perhaps, we could tell there's a number for the slope or the slant of that line. And the b term is where it crosses the y-axis. This is the x and the y-axis, and right there at b is called a y-intercept. We're going to figure that from the point that the line hits as it crosses this y-axis. Now this formula we're going to use in order to tell the slope of this line. All we need are two separate points. So we've already got our first point here as 2, 3. That's approximately there, 2, 3. And then we're going to need a second point to do these x2s and y2s. So this we would consider our first point, and perhaps our second ordered pair would be x2 and y2. And maybe we're going to have that as, well, we'll use the one that we've got on our line already. Let's make it 0, 1. So 2, 3, 0, and 1 are going to be the numbers that you're going to substitute into this slope formula. You can use this section to find the m value in that equation that we just looked at, or you can use this value. It doesn't matter which point you call x and y1 or x and y2. It's your choice. And basically what we're saying here is this is a symbol, this triangle in algebra and upper math. That's a delta sign. It's a D, a delta in the Greek alphabet, and that stands for the change in y divided by the change in x. So as you can see, as this line travels, it's the y value is changing constantly. Here we have it quite a low value for y, actually 0, and here we've got a value of 3, and up here probably a value for 6. Also, as the line keeps going, the x value is also changing. This 2, 3 is a point on the graph, but the line continues on, and it also goes backwards too. So we have our x value is also going to change. So this is telling you that the change in y divided by the change in x, that will give you the slope of this line.